there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Maxwell Starr's Beer Review. Tonight we're going to take a look at a beer that was sent to me from Ontario by none other than the Albino Rhino. We're going to take a look at a beer that I am kind of upset that we didn't receive here in the Maritimes, considering that every previous, in the last year, specialty from these guys has made it here. And we're going to take a look at one of my favorite beer companies. We're going to take a look at Innis Gunn's Irish Whiskey Cask. This particular beer is a Scottish Stout matured in oak barrels that previously contained triple distilled whiskey, carefully matured for 60 days prior to release. This bottle comes from a select batch of only 300 barrels. It says, late last year we were lucky enough to obtain some extremely rare oak barrels from a famous distillery in Ireland. These barrels had been used to mature one of the great triple distilled Irish whiskies. Once they had been emptied, we filled them with Innis Gunn Scottish Stout, the first we have ever brewed. Then over weeks of maturation, this stout slowly unlocked the smooth, complex flavors from deep inside the oak. Tasting the beer as it was maturing was an incredible experience. The chocolate flavors of our stout grew more and more pronounced, while the mellow oak flavors seemed to add harmony and complexity. We have ended up with a celebration beer that is memorable and robust in character, much like the peoples of Scotland and Ireland. A word or two about the beer. To complement the flavors we've drawn from these very rare barrels we brewed for the first time a Scottish Stout using chocolate malt and roast barley to impart a deep, complex flavors and aromas. We have used Fuggles hops to provide an earthy, balancing bitterness. So yeah, this particular beer was, well, an Irish cask, obviously, with a Scottish Stout in it. Very, very themed for St. Patrick's Day. This came out in, I think, the end of February, early March, so that people could enjoy it for St. Patrick's Day, Irish Drinking Day, what have you. And I think what was going on is that New Brunswick liquor stores are still basically inundated and overflowed with the last Innis Gunn product, which was the Innis Gunn Highland Cask. This particular beer is, I'm going to stop reading stuff here. It's 7.4% ABV. It is the first time they've used a beer other than a standard bitter or an ale. I mean, they've made tweaks to the beer recipe before, but for the most part, it's just a bitter or an ale that's been matured in whiskey casks or some kind of bourbon barrels or what have you. And this one here is not only Irish whiskey, but it's also a nice Scottish Stout. So I'm going to take a look at this, and we'll see if it's any good. So without further ado, let's pop the cover off of this one and take a look. Just popped it now. No turning back here. My Innis Gunn glass from the Christmas specialties we got in the winter. Oh, that was a thing of beauty. Now, if you haven't been watching this channel for the last, well, year or so since I started, if you haven't noticed, one of my favorite beer types is going to be stouts. I've reviewed dozens of stouts, and when I heard about this particular beer, I had to have it. And then it didn't show up. I was mad. Indie Liquors made it up to me since by bringing out a whole batch of new beers to the shelves that really impressed the heck out of me. But I don't know. It's hard to top not getting this. And that's just my experience going into this thing. I'm really excited. So looking at it, it's very dark. It's got some ruby red light coming through the bottom. It's admittedly a lighter colored stout than I was expecting. Usually when you get a stout, there's like a little bit of red. Even Guinness has got a little bit of red down at the bottom. And for the most part, it's this, it's just all black beer. If I had one finger ahead, it's already died off to a half finger. Now at 7.4%, I would expect it not to have a whole lot of head retention. Although really, it's still hanging on quite well, and that's impressive. So while it's quite as dark as I was expecting, I can't really call that a huge slight against it, especially considering this is Innis Gunn we're talking about here. So let's give it a sniff. I mean, there's wood, oak, lots of chocolate, vanilla. Ooh, plenty of vanilla. What is that? I want to call it mint, but it's almost got like a cooling sensation to it. Maybe a hint of like a demerara sugar or a hint of licorice. Anise or something. Now it's the head's almost completely died off. I'm getting a lot more chocolate. But it's a nice vanilla chocolate. And a decently complex stout to smell. That's really nice. Wow. Let's dig in. Oh my god. Mmm. Whoa. Just socks you with some nice chocolate bitter. Oh. Thank you, Rhino. You've made me happy. Holy crap. There's a lingering chocolate and espresso, like, I mean, yeah, it's more like a, not really espresso, it's more like a coffee. But a roasted bitterness in the back, along with a subtle earthiness from the Fuggles hops. For the most part, your mouth is filled with this nice, like, brown sugar, demerara sugar, whiskey malt, and the chocolate fills your mouth. Slight alcohol taste to it, which actually quite works with this beer well. And oh man, that's just dreamy. It's actually fairly sweet, but not absolutely sweet. It's kind of like about as sweet as like the Innis Gunn's, the standard regular the bourbon barrel cask, the original. It's not super sweet like the Canada Day 2011 was. So it's bursting with flavor from those the whiskey barrels, as well as a nice tasty stout. And it also leaves your mouth nice and dry, afterwards, and you want to take another sip. This is really, really delicious, and also subtly warming in the throat. I mean, I said that it had a little bit of an alcoholic taste, but it's really not much, and you hardly detect anything at all in this. This is really good. That's a thing of beauty. Thank you, Innis Gunn. You've done it again. Alright, I'm going to get a picture of this. I'll be right back with some thoughts. Be right back. And I'm back with Innis Gunn's Irish Whiskey Cask. So, what did I think about this beautiful beer? Well, I just called it beautiful, didn't I? This thing is freaking amazing. Oh, even Neely liked it, and she hates Innis Gunn. Oh, did you hear me?
Yes, barely. Barely.
Anyway. To be totally honest, this thing is a thing of beauty and absolutely excellent. 7.4% ABV, you can hardly taste the alcohol. It's got a really nice oak-aged stout taste to it, along with some nice whiskey flavors thrown in there. Really beautiful, and very much so like in the vein of a foreign extra stout, like kind of like either Lion Stout or what's the other one? Guinness Foreign Extra is what I'm thinking. I think I've had another foreign stout before too as well, but it's almost in that same kind of vein as those, except for it's basically a barrel-aged foreign stout. It's very much a sweeter beer, not quite thick and heavy like an imperial stout would be, but really nice, easy drinking. Now, I can't see myself being able to put a few too many of these back, but given the rarity of something like this, excuse me, as well as the complexity of something like this, you really want to sit down and sip this one. You want to sit down and enjoy this one. You're not going to want to like just knock it right back and drink it up right away. You want to sit down and take your time, because this is a true sipping stout. And what a wonderful beer it is too. So I'm going to have to give this one a high 4.5 out of 5. It's another one of those beers out there that gets really, really close to hitting that magic 5. And this is kind of like what I would expect to be the perfect storm. It's stout plus barrel aged and Innis Gunn all in the same, basically the same beer, and it winds up being absolutely wonderful. And I'm glad. Thank you, Rhino, for sending me this bottle, because I am truly in awe over this one. This is absolutely delicious, and I love it. And I wish I could get it again. And maybe next year, keeping fingers crossed, my good friends over at NB Liquor will decide to bring this one in and make me happy. Anyway, until next time, thank you for watching Maxwell Starr's Beer Review. Chat with you guys later, and cheers.